Hi folks, I'm the newstarcadefan here. In the last episode, we found out a little bit about Sophie, and also Katsu gave us some sage advice to actually try to get along with people. In this episode, well, we're about to meet up with a mermaid. Large hands gripped the bow of the ship, and before the creature could push back. When it finally came to view, I realized it was pretty much what Katsu was talking about. Hello there. She was pretty casual about all of this. She swam somewhat awkwardly around the ship and took a seat on the bow. The ship tilting greatly forward, but not enough to capsize. Yikes. Katsu and I both scurried up to safer land and merely gawked at the creature in front of us. I, yeah, this is a not so little mermaid, ladies and gentlemen. Are mermaids usually this size, Captain? I've heard legends say them being as big as this, yes. Hey, I can hear you guys down there. I'm not deaf, you know. And they're not big. She pounded, holding her bust, lightly squeezing herself self-consciously. Whoa. Oh, I'm sorry about that. And I don't have a name. It's Oceanne. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Oceanne. What are you? She elbowed me in my side. Keep quiet for once and follow my lead. I nodded and watched her slowly approach Oceanne. So, Oceanne. The fussy mermaid nodded, water flying from her hair, falling upon the ship like an instant shower. Katsu froze for a second from that, but continued. So what brings you here? That's a weird question. I live out here. A better question is, why are you out here? She had the point. Shut it. She hissed over at me, and then looked back up to Oceanne, her smile reappearing. Yeah, talk about an unusual situation. Alright, so is there any reason why you have come up to the surface and set upon our ship? Ocean shrugged, causing the whole ship to shake. By now, the whole crew was on board, speechless, staring up at the massive mermaid. Well, yeah. It's been a while since I visited the surface and conversed among the land dwellers. So it's interesting to see how you float among here from one place and not from another, you know. She's just interested. By now, Sophie had gotten over to Katsu for any orders she might have. Katsu leaned over and whispered something in her ear, but I can faintly make out the word harpoon. Sophie nodded back and made her way back towards the others, informing them of the instructions. Oh, this is gonna be another failure. So, Ocean, was there anything you wanted while you were here making this visit, or... Actually, now that you mention it, I'm quite famished. This is a problem, because she's a gigantic mermaid. Well, let's just say she has a huge appetite. I can almost see the sweat crawling down Katsu after that statement. You don't say. Well, you could be so kind as to speak for us, but you could be well, would you be so kind as to speak to us for a moment before doing anything brash? Well, I'm not usually supposed to talk to land dwellers, but I guess I can make an exception today because how bored I am. Yeah, I got a question. Oh no, Daiki, don't fuck it up. Daiki, no. Let's not got this. I stepped forward, getting her attention a bit. I couldn't help but wonder how much water we were taking on right now, But I guess Olivia was on that from the fact that she was no longer on the upper decks anymore. So do you have a home, Oceanne? Of course I do. There's this big city directly below where you're on now, and I live there. That makes sense. Alright, well, do you have... Oh, I can barely hear you here. In one swift movement, she adjusted herself and leaned her hand down, gesturing me for me to stand upon it. Yeah, we know where this is going. I heard Katsu call out for me from behind, but I gave her a subtle wave and moved towards it, standing upon her palm. Almost instantly, I was lifted right next to her face. Wow, I gotta say, you're even more gorgeous up close. Oh, Daiki, you sly dog. She blushed, waving her other hand abashedly at my statement. Oh, stop. Nah, I mean it. I haven't seen many merfolk, admittedly, but man, you're quite the sight. How long have you been around, Oceanne? Well, in human years, I'd be considered like 19 or something. A body like this at 19? Dang. Wow, Daiki, even if you wanted to, you kinda can't. I think the movie Splash has, well, taught us that. That rhymed. It was not intentional, I assure you. I looked down and admired the view. Honestly, those are impressive too. I whistled. Oceana giggled. All was going to go according to plan. Did you want a closer look? You're about. I like the sound of that. I grinned at the offer. It was too good to pass up. Well, yeah, I'm playing this part dumbly because, after playing Time Tenshi for so long, I like the sound of that. Oceana let a small giggle before quickly thrusting her hand upon her chest. I found myself tumbled forwards onto something soft, damp, and warm before sliding down between two squishy orbs of flesh. And Oceane thinks she's flat? Just like that, it went dark, but I can still hear the muffled shouts from outside. Idiot! Ugh! Olivia, take the shot now! I couldn't see any of what was going on in the pinch of darkness I was trapped in, but I heard it. There was a whizzing sound, a shriek from Ocean, and some muffled shout of "you jerks" before I felt myself being thrust forwards. Uh-oh. And just like that, I felt and heard a harsh crash around me, the sound of a flood quickly showering me completely without any of the water, which was odd. If I'm thinking correctly, Ocean just dived back down into the water. I could feel myself moving quickly, moving down at a breakneck pace. How deep were we going? Did she remember I was here? Out of pure fear and worry, I began to muscle my way through the soft, pliable walls around me before peeking my head out. To my surprise, instead of being doused with water, I can breathe just fine. Above me was Oceane's face. Yeah, she's pissed. She looked absolutely mad. It took me a moment to notice why. A big chunk of her long golden locks had been severed. Um, I did my best to speak up to get her attention, tapping the bottom of her collarbone lightly and then firmly. She looked down, her eyes lining up in surprise. She stopped swimming in that moment and flipped herself towards causing me to topple onto the surface of one of her boobs. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about you. How? You just dropped me down there. I was just, your friends up there shot something at me, and I panicked. Look, I need to get home, alright? Can you drop me off first, before? I'm really sorry, but this can't wait. I promise you. I'll get you back to your friends after this, okay? I adjusted myself on her, getting to a more comfortable position on her well-endowed frame, and nodded. She continued to swim down to a more comfortable pace. I just had to cure my boredom while to swim. Not like I can do much to convince her at this point. So how am I breathing right now? Huh? Oh, right. I didn't really think about it anymore. Well, I don't have gills. No mermaids do. So instead, we create a bubble of air around us at all times. You can make a bubble? Of course, silly. I don't have many abilities aside from that and just talking to sea turtles and stuff. Huh, interesting. We were quiet for a bit of time as we continued our descent into the dark, murky depths. An aura of light seemed to shine off her bubble. So you got any family? Yeah, I have a couple of older sisters. They're super nice. Did you want to meet them? I mean, if they're as beautiful as you, then yeah. This elicited another smile and a blush from Oceanne. Oh, stop. But I think it's for the best I get back up to others as soon as I can. While it brought the mood down, she nodded understanding. A few more minutes of swimming later, we finally reached a clearing. And that's when what I saw made my jaw drop. A huge arch held up by an ancient-looking blue stone rose up from the ground beyond us. Seaweed and algae crawled along the side of the pillars, accumulating the facade. Beyond that, on the other side, lay what looked like to be a watchtower surrounded by a parapet, all tinted in a similar shade of blue. Beyond that, it seems to be an entire city crawling out for miles. It was almost too much to take in. Much like the lost city of Atlantis, or Atlanta if you're a Futurama fan. You live here? Ocean nodded with a smile, stopping for a moment to let me have a long look. Super pretty, right? I mean, I think we should fix up some of the cracks in the front, but Daddy's too busy keeping us out of wartime. Wartime, huh? Ocean nodded, seemed to think very little. Ooh, she doesn't like it. I mean, something like that was typical, but I just had to keep my thoughts to myself. So, what did you need to do? Oh, right, hold on. We're almost there. We need to be. With that, we found our way zooming through the arch, making our way through the ancient city. It was all a blur, but I can barely keep track until we were finally in what seemed like a room. It was dimly lit, the only light being the small blue orb in the center. I'll make this quick, I promise. If I don't do this now, it'll cause all sorts of problems. Alright. I wasn't one to argue now that we were so far down. This was just too amazing to pass up. Mildly terrifying? Kind of. But it was too awe-inspiring for me to bother with it all that much. Ocean swam up to another wall and knocked on something that sounded like it was made of glass. Soon after, her knock lit it up brilliantly, filling the wall with light. One that illuminated the wall was a mirror and a small shelf which held a few items that I couldn't quite make out. And here's where I'm going to leave it off. In the next episode, we're going to continue on with Oceanne and have some more wacky adventures. If you liked what you've seen, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, because it does help the channel out a lot. Anyway, I'm the newstarcadefan here saying thanks for watching, have a good day or night wherever you are, and bye for now.